and just describe to the people what Hebrew Israelite, what that all actually entails.
Sure. Hebrew Israelism is a network of beliefs. And if you picture like a bike, like the spokes coming out, but there's that middle hub. The middle hub of the network of beliefs is we are the true Israelites of the Bible. Now, they all define the we differently. Some people include white folks, some people include Native Americans, other people say no, some people include people in the continent of Africa, others say no. But whatever the we is, according to the group, we are the true Israelites. Then all these beliefs are spokes out from that, and the spokes can vary greatly. But it's a network of beliefs centering on the idea that Black Americans are the true biblical Israelites. And here's why it's problematic. Most of those spokes usually, not always, but are either heterodox or heretical. And so it's not just the center belief, because that would be usually just bad history, but not necessarily heretical. It's what they do with it. It's the implications of it, and it's the other things connected to it. So that's why it's a problem, because it's a whole really set of propositions that people buy into. And usually the leading one, the first one that usually gets them in is, oh, I'm an Israelite. But a bunch of stuff comes from that is anti-gospel, frankly. And also, one other thing to know when you deal with Hebrew Israelites is that the groups do differ greatly, and the beliefs do differ greatly from person to person, from group to group. So I tell people, never tell a Hebrew Israelite, I understand everything you believe, I know all about what you believe. I encourage you to ask them as many questions as possible. Try to understand. And if you got a belief that there's wrong, just simply say, oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I misunderstood what you believe. Now, that's kind of difficult, because sometimes there are some Hebrew Israelites who will say one thing in a public setting and another thing in a private, or will literally change their beliefs more frequently than we would be used to as Christians, because there's a fluidity in this new movement, and a lot of times the leaders have a certain amount of power, and so sometimes you'll see that kind of fluidity. But nonetheless, I just encourage people to ask them specifics about their beliefs.
How often will you find one who will identify themselves as one when they're not amongst the others? I mean, you go to a street corner and you see them. Okay, I can identify them as the guys with the bullhorn and so forth, with the microphone. Right. But are they readily identifiable? Let's say in the workplace, or just out and about by themselves. Fringes
are the key giveaway. Now, the thing is, not all Hebrew Israelites wear the fringes in public. They do fringes usually different than Jewish people who are religious or practitioners of Judaism do. They do them differently. And the way usually Hebrew Israelites do their fringes is on the bottom of this garment, and then on the bottom will be a whole border of fringes all the way around the bottom of the shirt or whatever it may be. Some of the groups don't encourage you to really wear them except when you're doing kind of religious type things. And so you wouldn't be able to identify them. But if you see someone with that like that, instead of the little, kind of tassels that someone who's practicing Judaism may have, I would ask them, hey, what's the significance of those fringes? Why do you wear those fringes? Most of the time, that's a Hebrew Israelite. I've never encountered a Hebrew Israelite in the drugstore, in the pasta section, any place I've been when I've talked to one that had fringes on, and when I asked him, wasn't a Hebrew Israelite. That's a main dead giveaway in a sort of public setting or public scenario. Other things may be, if you were looking for additional things, maybe something with Hebrew, or especially the Paleo Hebrew script. Somewhere on the body, whether it's jewelry or a shirt or even a tattoo, something like that. They especially favor often Paleo Hebrew, which is just the earlier form of the script of Hebrew, really is all it is. They act like it's something different. It's just an earlier form of the script, a little more rudimentary or whatever. And then also other things would be often, but not always, beards for the men, maybe, but not always, head coverings for the women. But again, these are more religious practitioners, because some of the Hebrew Israelites don't do those things, and they don't all necessarily think that you have to have a beard or head coverings. A majority do, though. But so you add all those things together, and then if you're just trying to say, hey, could I share the gospel with this person and have some idea maybe where they're coming from, those would be some of the things I would look for.
Okay. Now, by the way, guys, y'all make sure you go to Vocab Malone's channel. Not only just check him out, but go ahead and subscribe. Oftentimes, I really don't. I'll say go check someone out, and don't always say to subscribe. Definitely subscribe to him